go.
Hello, fellow collectors. I'm Anthony with Anthony's Comic Book Art, and I'm here with the estimable Larry Houston.
That's me.
Who's
How
come
you
back
doing?
into predominance here with X-Men '97, and he was the original producer showrunner of the original X-Men animated series.
Yeah.
And we were talking today, and we were just talking about how at that moment where that was the only Marvel show,
Yeah.
and that was the germination of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, we up until that point, nobody had done a faithful adaptation of any Marvel comic book. There was always something weird, like the Thing was a kid with a ring, magic ring, rocks, or
Thing ring, do your
FF.
thing.
Yeah, and they had FF with a robot instead of Torch. There was always something different. So with the X-Men, we tried, myself, Will Manuel, Rick Hogarth, myself, to make the show as accurate a version as we could make it. And so that's what our attempt was. And a lot of like art-wise, companies didn't like to put black on characters. And so we deliberately tried to make it look like a comic book by adding, black into the character. Most other shows.
Oh, that flat 2D animation style,
Yeah.
like Space Ghost or the Toki stuff.
Yeah, they didn't like, a lot of animators, a lot of people didn't like
No,
black.
I get that. Herculoids didn't
Yeah.
have any blacks. Yeah.
Yeah. And
All
so
right.
we did that to try and get that deliberate comic book look. And we did it to the backgrounds too.
Mhm.
Where we'd have them do a color background, then we'd have a transparency black overlay to look like it was drawn by hand.
Now, did you have any influence on getting that pitched and made, and overcome the inertia from the producers that didn't think a comic book show could go?
We had the backing of Margaret Lesh, who had been my boss at Marvel Productions in the mid-'80s. And when she became the CEO of Fox Kids, she knew our approach. So we replicated the same approach we did on Friday the X-Men. And we ran with it because she knew that's what we wanted to do. Then she approved it ahead of time.
And
way
she
ahead
worked
of
with
time.
Stan Lee for a few years, and she was, I know that we talked about this earlier, that she tried to get the Power Rangers with Stan and bring that property into America, but it didn't go at that time. And then when she got to Fox Kids, she had that background with Stan and the comic books, and so she knew this was viable.
Yeah.
And but there was a lot of resistance there too, right?
Oh yeah, and even her boss thought X-Men was a mistake. He thought Power Rangers was a mistake, and she backed both shows, and it took Fox from zero to the stratosphere.
Yeah.
She had a very good gut feeling as to what kids liked,
Right.
whereas the other executives were too far removed, and they didn't have that same type of
Yeah.
gut instincts.
But this is still that's the head of production, and she was kind of the head of Fox Kids.
She was the
sort of?
CEO of Fox.
Okay.
Fox Kids.
Okay, CEO.
Yeah, she was at the top. But even CEOs have a boss.
Sure.
And her boss thought X-Men and Power Rangers was a mistake. Yeah.
Where's that guy now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. But that is just I remember back when I was a young photographer in New York, but I was still a comic book guy, and that was that only thing. The only thing was the X-Men, and that started a few years later. That show was kind of a proof of concept that you made happen and made successful, and that led into what?
Oh, the live
The
action?
X-Men live action
Yeah.
movies that got shot, '99 and released in 2000, right?
Yeah, we proved that you could take a Marvel property, and if you adapt it kind of faithfully, there's an audience for it. People
Absolutely.
want to see it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's still the trouble and real, oh my God, the nut of the whole situation with the producers is hey, let's be faithful to the source material
Right.
that has proven over the decades to work, and not just try to change it so much and be, I don't know, diversified and woke about it, and then it just gets bogged down in its.
Well, I think a lot of directors want to do their spin on it.
Sure. Because then they can claim, well, that's me. That's my
me,
thing.
right? And so for me, I had no ego in that. My ego was to take the books, put them on the screen. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well,
To
thank
me,
you
it's
for
simple.
that, because that egoless approach, proved over the decades to have worked, and you brought a lot of joy and enjoyment and influenced this whole culture that we see before us with the comic books and the MCU. So I appreciate that, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And continued success. You're into the second season, right?
Third.
Third.
I'm working. Yeah, I'm working
yeah.
on third season. I'm working for Disney.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
working on
yeah. Third. Yeah, you're right. I mean,
Yeah.
the second already came out. That's right.
And I always
Why'd you kill Gambit? Come on.
There's a reason.
All right.
And I want to thank all the kids who supported me in the season 1, because it was never a season 2 if you guys didn't watch the show. So thank you.
And this was filmed by the guy who used to draw X-Men Adventures from
Yes.
the
Yeah,
show.
Mr. Hebert.
So there you go. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. You got a job out of this. You got a job from him.
Long time ago.
X-Men Adventures. Yay, Mr. Hebert. Thank you very much.
Mr. Hebert. Usually I hear you're making a scene when Mr.'s involved.
All right.
Anyway, thank you very much.
All right.